We are now 3 events into the World Series of Bowling, and international players are 3 for 3 so far. We've had a winner from Sweden, Rasmus Edvall, Singapore, and now Malaysia. Darren Ong from Singapore made history at the Viper Championship by becoming the first player from Singapore to win a PBA title. Then the following day at the Comedian, Tun Hakim became the first Malaysian player to win a PBA title. Now, I don't need to tell you how good the players are from countries like Singapore and Malaysia, and it's actually pretty amazing nobody from those countries has won on the PBA up to now. But why are the international players dominating this year's World Series? Well, it's been a long time coming, to be honest. The standard of international players has skyrocketed in recent years, as well as the attendance numbers of international participants at the World Series. For many international players, this is the event for them. It gives them the opportunity to compete in multiple events in a short space of time, rather than having to travel constantly or spend weeks and months in the States to be able to play several events. The PBA have long aimed to increase the amount of international participants, and they have certainly achieved that this year, as there are players from 19 countries in this year's event. But success for overseas players in the World Series is nothing new. Since its inception, international players have won 21 PBA Tour titles and 5 World Championships. A number of those are courtesy of Jason Belmonte, but even so, the World Series has always been the event that has allowed international bowlers to shine and prove that they can compete with America's best. But they've taken that a step further this year and have really dominated the American players, and as I said, they're currently 3 for 3. We have the final animal pattern left, the Shark Championship, and then the World Championship finals on Saturday. There's still a number of players in the match play bracket of the Shark Championship, and 5 international bowlers left in the top 16 of the World Championship, so there's still a very good possibility we could have an international sweep of all 5 events. I think we're really starting to see the gap being closed now. The high scoring pace in a number of these events also opens things up a lot. I really feel it's anyone's title to win. Yes, you've had players like EJ Tackett, Boo Kroll, who have made match play in all of the events, but at the same time, we've seen a lot of new names have great runs this year. I think another aspect of it is confidence. International players have seen guys in recent years like Belmo, Don Barrett, Jesper Svensson, and many more names I could list, and know that it is possible. This is just being amplified even more, as it's going to attract even more players from countries like Malaysia and Singapore, who now have first-time titleists. It's like a wave, one goes and does it, and it attracts more. But don't count out the Americans just yet. Surely they can't let the international players run riot for all 5 events. As I mentioned earlier, the World Series is the place that attracts the most international players, but even throughout the rest of the season, the amount of international players has increased dramatically. When you think back to 15-20 years ago, pre-World Series, you could probably count on one hand the amount of top quality international players who could realistically win titles. Now that has changed big time. So now let's have a quick breakdown of yesterday's Comedian Championship. Straight off the bat, Andrew Anderson put in an impressive performance once again.
Mr. Anderson, welcome back. We missed you.
He was aggressive in his decision making right from game 1 and was making quick ball changes. This bold strategy paid off as he made a comeback at the end of match 1 to strike out for a 258 game to Mitch Huppe's 233. He continued with the same strategy in game 2 against EJ Tackett. After he left back-to-back 7 pins on the left lane, the second of which he missed, he then switched to the Equinox the next time round on the left lane. Again, this move paid off, and he never looked like not striking on that lane in particular. I did think after that missed 7 pin, Anderson might be in big trouble, but EJ just couldn't string anything much together. As Anderson headed into the 9th, he was down by 1, but struck in the 9th and the first in the 10th to take a 9-pin lead. His next shot was a huge miss inside, and he almost got away with the Brooklyn strike, but the 9-pin stood. This meant EJ could double and 9 to advance. EJ had already got away with a big trip 4 in the 9th, and the exact same thing happened in the first shot of the 10th. He made the adjustment, which really he had no option after going back-to-back trip 4s, but left a 10-pin, and it's always the way, he made the right adjustment but could not get the carry. It's a very frustrating period for Tackett on television right now because things are just not going right for him in these one-game matches. It's absolutely unbelievable what he's managed to achieve, making 4 shows in a row and qualifying for every World Series event. But just think about how much bowling that is before he's got onto TV, all the intense match play rounds over and over again each day. It's such a remarkable achievement that perhaps there is a bit of fatigue there. I'm not saying this necessarily is an excuse, but it must be playing a part. I think ultimately things just haven't really gone his way on TV so far in the World Series. He'll be attempting to make the Shark Show, and it seems extremely likely he'll be on the show for the World Championship. Anderson then went on to face Kevin McCune, somebody who I personally would have expected to see a little bit more of since his first major win. He had a hot start getting the front 5, but then left a pocket 7-10 out of the commercial break. Anderson tried to rally a comeback, but a 10-pin in the 9th all but ended his hopes. McCune would end up doubling in the 10th for a 265 game. Anderson played another solid game, but McCune's rev rate was the deciding factor in this one, as he was just flying the pins around and getting constant messages every other frame. Anderson, on the other hand, just wasn't getting anywhere near the same pin action despite having similar hits to McCune. McCune would now go on to the title match to face Tun Hakim, and the 26-year-old Malaysian put on a real show here, opting to use the Black Hammer urethane. He built a 43-pin lead after 6 frames. McCune didn't get anywhere near the same sort of carry as the previous match and did miss a 10-pin in frame 2, but it didn't make any difference in the end as Hakim would finish with a 269 game to win the title. Well, that was certainly a very high-scoring telecast, and now we have the last animal pattern to come, the Shark. Let me know your predictions for the Shark and the World Championship in the comment section below. I would just like to thank you for watching this video. I really appreciate all of your support. It's been pretty crazy, all the amount of PBA action that we've had to enjoy. And as I say, looking forward to the Shark Championship coming up later today and the culmination of the World Series with the World Championship this Saturday. I'm sure we're going to be in for a lot more surprises in those 2 events. And don't forget, I will be doing breakdown videos for both of those telecasts, so make sure to hit the subscribe button below so you don't miss those videos. That's going to do it from me for today, and as always, thank you bowling fans, and see you all next time.
8th frame. Right at it. Come on.
Come on, ball. Get in there. Get in there.
He's got it. Trip 10-pin. Inching closer to his first career PBA Tour title. For the win. Needs 7, has 10, has the title!
What ball he was using, and that flat 10 to start. And then